Really awesome example of an F355 Cabriolet here at the pre-auction inspection for the Sotheby's Moda Miami event. This one is slotted to sell for $125,000 to $175,000, and I would imagine it's going to be on the upper end of that. These things have gone up in value substantially. People miss them. Unfortunately, it's the paddle shift. I am not really a fan of that, but what do you think of this? Would you rather have it with the gated shifter or the paddle shift? Put it in the comments. Incredible Boss 302 Mustang here at the pre-inspection at Moda Miami. This is slotted to sell for at least $60,000. It is a 1970 Boss 302. Porsche 356 Speedster from 1954, and it's slotted to sell for at least $300,000 here at Moda Miami Sotheby's auction. By the way, this is the first year of this event in Miami, and it's probably going to be a really good one. There's all these cars up on the auction block tomorrow and Sunday. Anyway, what do you think of this 356? Put it in the comments. 1970 FJ40 Toyota Land Cruiser, slotted to sell for at least $50,000 in the auction tomorrow. Let's take a look inside. This thing even smells old. I love it. '90 BMW M3 Sport, slotted to sell for over $250,000. $1965 Fiat Abarth. Wow, look at that. Let's take a look at the engine. So that is not even 1 liter. That's incredible. I'd love to hear it start up. The Vector WX3R. One of the most interesting things about this car is the split window going through the middle of the door. Beautiful 1929 Pierce Arrow. Oh, it has the travel trunk out back. Firestone white wall tires. This is a 1927 Rolls-Royce Phantom up for pre-inspection at the Sotheby's auction at Moda Miami. This is spectacular, decked out with the travel trunk on back, white wall tires, spoked rims, running boards. Let's take a look inside. Wow, what a coach. Look at these controls. So it's cool that you can see that this is the dawn of the World War II era automobile and what it was like back then, that it had evolved from horse carriages. And in a weird way, it's almost more like that than the modern day car. Look at these headlamps. That is not a grill you want to have to source if there's a problem with it. What do you think of this spectacular car? Put it in the comments. Immaculate 1967 Mercedes-Benz 250 SL Pagoda. Little 5-speed. That nice inner horn rim on the steering wheel Mercedes is known for. Wow, those are beautiful. Excellent 1963 Corvette Chevy Stingray with the split window. Slotted to go for at least $225,000 here at Moda Miami Car Auction by Sotheby's. This is the first annual Moda Miami, and you can see behind me there is a lot of cars up for the auction block. But I like this Vet. Knockoff wheels, quarter white walls. A very sought after car. Immaculate Ferrari F355 Spider from 1995. In the combination I always like, black exterior with the tan interior and the gated shift. Incredible Rolls-Royce here at Moda Miami Sotheby's pre-auction inspection from 1962. A Silver Cloud 2 drop head coupe. Slotted to go for over $300,000. Look at that burled wood. Wow, here at Third Pedal Metal, you know we love vintage M3s. This one here at Moda Miami is flawless in the pre-inspection. So this one comes from 1987 and it's slotted to sell for over $150,000. The pre-auction inspection here at Moda Miami Sotheby's first annual car auction and event. Wow, Celine S7. SF90 Ferrari, always a favorite of mine. Carrera GT. Beautiful Carrera RS. Oh, it's a Singer 911. Roof Porsche 911. Spiker C8. This car always has a place in my heart because I saw the Monaco Grand Prix in 2002. And one of the first renditions of these was the pace car that year. Let's take a look inside of it. Spiker, as you may know, was an aviation company. Here at Moda Miami, this is an unbelievable 1994 Lamborghini Diablo VT up on the auction block pre-inspection. So it's slotted to sell for over $250,000. This was back when a Lamborghini was even more raw of a car than it is now. No traction control, rear-wheel drive, brutal horsepower, clunky to shift, and just an all-around beast of a car. It looks like this one is signed on the steering wheel, not sure by who. Beautiful 1968 Citroën Delacade Henri Chapron Series 2. Slotted to go for over $275,000 here at Moda Miami Sotheby's car auction. What do you think of this? What an absolutely striking look from a car. Here at Moda Miami, I absolutely love this 1961 Volkswagen microbus. Dodge Viper ACR slotted to sell for over $275,000 here at Moda Miami. This 2017 Viper ACR is wild. Look at that wing. This is not a car for the timid. Here at Moda Miami, a lot of cars are being represented by Curated, the Miami-based vintage supercar dealer that I always love. And this thing is spectacular. Incredible 1961 Mercedes 190 SL with white walls up for auction here at Moda Miami. This event put on by Sotheby's is the first one, and look at all these amazing cars in the background, but this one is one of my favorites. The Roadster is slotted to sell for over $200,000. What do you think of this? Put it in the comments. Incredible BMW M4 up for auction here. The CSL is slotted to sell for over $150,000 here at Moda Miami. This Sotheby's auction is the first one of this event of its kind here in Miami. And there's going to be a lot of amazing cars like this up on the auction block starting tomorrow. This is the pre-inspection. Never was really a fan of the grille on this car, but when you see that in your rearview mirror, you get out of the way. What do you think of this car? Put it in the comments. Ferrari F40 here at Moda Miami Sotheby's auction. Absolutely incredible Le Mans car. Beautiful display of cars. Wow, that is a very stately Rolls Royce. I see the Hoonigan truck down at the end. I want to go check that out. Old DeSoto. Ferrari 458 Speciale. I'm incredibly pumped. I'm at Moda Miami Sotheby's pre-auction inspection here in Miami at the Biltmore Hotel. And this is Ken Block, the legendary late Ken Block. This is his truck. So this was used in one of the Gymkhana movies. I've watched all of them, but forgive me, I can't remember off the top of my head which one he used this in. You can put that in the comments. But guys, take a look at this thing. You can just imagine melting the tires right off of it. It's really nothing more than a cage and a fuel cell with a truck body wrapped around it. And of course, the legendary Ken Block was banging through the gears right there with that. Wow. I'm a big fan of his, so this is very exciting for me to see. There's all sorts of cars here from Jaguar to Ferrari and back. And this is the car that I'm the most excited about. I have to show you this vintage Rolls Royce. This is one of the most stately cars that I have ever seen. I notice it has an India license plate on it. Of course, India was the former British Empire. So this thing probably got sent over there at one point. and then sent back, and then now here to Miami, Florida. (1933) Rigling and Henning, Duesenberg, and it's slotted to sell for about $500,000 to $700,000. What do you think of this? Let me walk around and show you the inside from the other angle. Wow. Look at that exhaust pipe, dumping all 8 cylinders. What an exciting car to drive. Knockoff wheels, wire rims in red, and being from the early 30s, it has a leaf suspension and solid axles. So probably a somewhat rough ride, but one that's incredibly fun to drive. 1970 Aston Martin DB6 MK2 Vantage, and you may recognize the early James Bond aesthetic. Knockoff wire rims in the trademark silver color. What a glorious car. This also looks like what Robbie Williams used in the Millennium music video, which of course was to be evocative of Bond. Let's see what they're saying this will sell for. $500,000 to $550,000. My guess is it will be on the higher end of that. What do you think of this? Put it in the comments. Glorious 2003 Celine S7, slotted to sell for in between $570,000 and $670,000 here at Moda Miami Sotheby's auction. Wow. Let's take a look at the inside. And of course you can see the Celine signature there. Sorry for the glare. And you are really tightly wedged into this thing when you're in it. It's too bad we can't hear it start because it sounds glorious. Incredible Porsche 911 by Gunther Works. And it's a 4-liter engine. Outfitted with cross-drilled Brembo brakes. 335s out back in a really cool chalk gray color. Beautiful 1959 Lancia Flaminia 2500 Sport Zagato Series 1, and slotted to sell for $350,000 to $450,000 here at Moda Miami. Let's go around to the other side, take a look inside of this thing. We'll stop off at the grill. Wow, that's spectacular. You have to love the old Italian wooden steering wheels from this era in the modest stick shift. What do you think of this car? A 1935 Auburn 8 Custom Speedster, slotted to sell for $700,000 to $900,000. Let me go around to the other side of this where it's more lit up. This was an era of cars where they were really trying to leave the horse carriage age behind them and go on to these dramatic sweeping lines. Let's look at the inside. Wow, what is that? Everything on a car like this is quirky and specific and a one-off and complicated. Incredible 1966 Porsche 906 Carrera. This thing is slotted to sell for 1.8 million to 2.2, and I picture it will go for the higher end of that because these are iconic. I believe they had a flat fan 6-cylinder that sounded spectacular. (1963) 300 SL Roadster Mercedes here at the pre-auction inspection for tomorrow, the Sotheby's Moda Miami event, and it's slotted to go for 2.2 to 2.7 million. Wow, what lines on this thing. This is iconic. This is a 1930 Cadillac V16 Roadster, slotted to go for 1 million to 1.3 million tomorrow at Moda Miami Sotheby's auction. Let's take a look inside. (1939) Delage D8 120 Cabriolet, slotted to sell for in between 900,000 and 1.2 million. Look at this quirky right-hand drive masterpiece. This was back when cars had glorious sweeping lines. And a very long hood. What do you think of this car? Put it in the comments.
So this thing's pretty cool.
1981 Lamborghini Countach.
I skipped over that Countach because I was going to talk about the other Countach. I love the color of that car. Me too. You said this one? Yeah, 350 GT.
On this car, everybody always talks about that odd beam that goes through the window, and is one of the most uncomfortable cars to drive of all time. Look at this vintage bakery truck. This is spectacular. Oh, the donuts are fake. I really wanted a donut. So it's a 1933 twin coach Helms Bakery delivery truck, and they're looking to get $100,000 at auction. Historic Biltmore Hotel in the background, and a whole bunch of other cars that you can see in the other videos. Incredible vintage Ducati. This thing is from 1970, and it's the 450 Scrambler, and they're looking to get 18,000 to 25,000 at auction tomorrow. Beautiful bike. It's got tracker bars, semi-knobby tires, stock everything. What do you think of this? Put it in the comments. Incredibly rare car. This is a 1969 Fiat Spiaggetta. 1969 Fiat 850 Spiaggetta. And what was notable about this car was the wicker interior. Not just the seats, the dashboard is also wicker. Spiaggetta. So it took me 3 tries to finally say it correctly. Very small displacement car with a mid-engine. Actually, that's really a rear engine. Wow, look at those tiny little pedals. And at the auction tomorrow, they're looking to fetch $50,000 to $60,000 for this. What do you think of this? Put it in the comments. 993 Porsche 911 Turbo. Iconic, last of the air-cooled Porsches. I'll openly admit I never really liked cars like this and from this era, but Third Pedal Metal is car agnostic. We post any kind of car. So here's a custom 1957 Bonneville. I tend to like cars from before this era or after this era. I was just not into the jet age cars. Like, it looks fun, I would drive it, but as a car collector, this is not something I would get. It doesn't matter what I think. What do you think of this 1957 Pontiac Bonneville convertible? We'll take one more sweep around and then we'll see what it's looking to fetch on the auction block tomorrow. So they're looking to get $140,000 to $180,000. This is the 2020 Lamborghini Scion, which had a production run of only 63 cars. The tires out back are 355s, which is absolutely massive. You couldn't even get tires that big a few decades ago. I think the Bugatti was pretty much what unveiled those, because it used to just go up to 335. It is a blisteringly fast car, an incredibly value with a production run of 63. What do you think of this? Would you drive this as your daily driver? Put it in the comments. Which one of these incredible unrelated cars would you pick? The 911 GT3 RS, GT350 Shelby, or this nice little Stingray? You could only pick one and you would not be able to sell it. Now, based on that, which of these would you take? The answer is not that obvious, because if you look through the comments, you're going to start seeing a lot of different answers. This is really cool. It's a vintage Can-Am car, McLaren, with a mid V8 engine with velocity stacks. I saw this thing pull in and it sounded incredible. And you can imagine that it's a very uncomfortable car to drive for much long distances. You can see that there's about 2 whole inches separating the driver from the engine. Just a thin metal plate. In fact, just standing here right now, I feel the heat radiating off of this, and it hasn't been driven in over an hour. But it looks fun as hell, doesn't it? A Studebaker, and a really interesting one at that. I love the thin white walls on this, and the crazy circular headlights that the Avanti was known for. This car is not something that you're going to be driving a very short amount of time and run into another one on the road. In fact, you could easily go a lifetime owning this thing and not come across another one in the parking lot with you. What do you think of this? Would you drive it as your daily driver? Put it in the comments. Incredible example of a Ferrari 488 Pista Spider that they're looking to get $700,000 for to almost $1 million at the Moda Miami auction tomorrow. Pilot Sport Cup 2 wheels, tires rather. Love the bronze rims. Incredible classic Maserati from 1965. Looking to get about $150,000 at auction tomorrow. What do you think of this flawless example of a 65 Maserati Sebring? '72 Ferrari Dino 246 GT. Let's take a look at the inside. You can imagine how wonderful it sounds on startup. What a pristine example of this car. Which of these would you rather have? The 812 or the new Ferrari SUV? I never really know how to say this. The Persang, something like that. The Ferrari SF90. Let's take a look inside. So if you know this car, you know it has 3 motors as a hybrid. And pumps out a combined 1,000 horsepower. Here's another one pulling in now. Actually, no, this is not the SF90. It's the 296 GTS. They're confusingly similar looking. Ferrari 296 GTS here at the Biltmore Hotel for Moda Miami. '26 Coral Gables fire truck. The Lamborghini Miura here at the Biltmore Hotel in Coral Gables, Florida. The Alfred Hitchcock Rolls Royce. 1935 Duesenberg here at Moda Miami. Moda Miami at the Biltmore in Coral Gables. It's a beautiful day to buy cars at auction. The IE Apollo. And one of the most dramatic wings in the hypercar business.
We did. The car was just freshly painted when we bought it. Oh, interesting. Well, then painted about 2 years.
Oh, all right. So this is like a fresh
300 SL Gullwing Benz.
Mercedes-Benz classic car division.
Yeah. That's incredible.
1956. And you can choose your color palette for this car. And with the original suitcase in the back. Lamborghini SUV from 1990 by Curated here in Miami. This was the first ever production limited run Lamborghini SUV that was ever made, long predating the Urus. And look at the monster tires on it. A 5-speed manual. And you can imagine blasting over the dunes of Dakar in this. And then a winch if you get stuck. The Ferrari Puro Sangue. I have no idea if I'm saying that right. Who cares? Guys, it's the Ferrari SUV. Interesting the way the door opens up like a suicide door in the back. Nice sound on it too. Ferrari F50.